Alright, I'm doing another update of the CR500. I've got it into a rolling chassis and the frame's been powder coated. I've got the shock spring powder coated and it is back on the shock. The shock has been rebuilt. It's got a nice new bumper in there. The swing arm was stripped and sanded. I got most of the gouges out. I don't know if I'm going to leave it in that finish. I'll have to roll it out and see what it looks like in the light. Got the brakes cleaned up, axle, an adjuster, the rim. If you look real close, it's got scratches, but this is going to be a rider, so that'll be fine. Got a nice new Bridgestone tire, and that hub is original paint, which is pretty cool. So I've got that part done. The linkage is all back together, and I was able to reuse all the needle bearings. Just cleaned them all up, re-greased them. I put new pivot bearings up here in the front of the swing arm. Subframe got powder coated. Got the UFO flow plastic. Seat, made the tall soft seat foam, which is going to be nice and plush, and they did a good job on this cover. It matches really well with the plastic, and the Honda logos seem about the right size and the right placement. Plus, I don't know if you can see the texture. It's got a really cool kind of Honda texture to it. Front fender, and I'm using a newer style number plate, like a 95 and up, just because it was half the price of the correct number plate. The correct one would have just cut right across there and been more of a square shape, and you would have seen this bottom part of the triple clamp. Aesthetically, I think this one looks a little nicer. Got a little bit of a gap there, but that's about as close as I could get to that brake holder without starting to trim the number plate. This fender point's pretty good. The new fork guards line up pretty good. Forks have been rebuilt and resprung with some .44 kg fork springs. And for those that are watching my build on Vital, they'll remember that clicker valve. That little clicker adjustment we lathed out of a piece of brass from the hardware store because it was broken. So that's the original. That's the one we made. Not bad. And since I'm tall, I've got these really jacked up risers. This was a nice Scott clamp. They had this upper bridge piece. And then I'm using Rox risers, which go up and forward. I think 1 inch up and 1 inch forward. It looks really tall, looks kind of like a monstrosity, but the overall height is going to be pretty good. If you look at my KTM, I've got some pretty good size risers on those. I mean, just look at the gap between the fork and the bar. And that's my bike that I ride all the time. And this is a little bit taller, not bad. Let's see, front wheels on, new wheel bearings front and rear. And of course the skid plate, which is removable now. And then some little details. I've got that replica 92 frame tag. Yeah, so I just have to adjust the rear fender. I'm going to make some new brackets for the seat to get it to sit down nice and flush to that fender, because the old ones are kind of wallered out. But hey, at least now it's a bike you can sit on. You can kind of see where it's going. It's looking pretty good. So now it's just going to be some plastic refinishing. I'm going to work on that gas tank. that air box. going to be most of it. And then clean up this dirty beast of a motor and get it back in its home. Yeah, it's moving along. So I will catch you later. Peace.